On my platform, I do first mag gun reviews where I give my initial impressions of guns I shoot for the first time. I do cinematic gun and gear reviews where I make the video all shiny and sexy and give an in-depth review. In short, the LifePod is a lockable, water-resistant, dust-proof, airtight, lightweight lifestyle case that can float. Once in a while, I'll drop a skit video.
The safety violator. For obvious reasons, the safety violator is the most terrifying personality at any gun range. They habitually and effortlessly break every safety rule known to man.
Just gonna put it back in the case.
I also do 2A news videos where, you guessed it, I talk about 2A news.
Colion, Noir. Colion, what's your reaction to Joe Biden's reaction?
So one thing I want people to understand is that Joe Biden is a political elitist. He spent his entire professional career in politics, so all he knows is power. And I even do car review videos. It's easy to think anyone buying a car like the Ferrari F8 Tributo is just an attention whore who needs their ego stroked at each stoplight. And I'm sure some of those people exist. But in reality, I found myself almost annoyed by the attention. The same way I'm annoyed when my turn-by-turn navigation keeps interrupting my music to give me the turn-by-turn directions I asked it to give me. But the most important videos I do are the videos where I debunk arguments for gun control. When it comes to the debunking gun control videos, I've noticed that over the years that a lot of you all love the videos, but some of you think these videos are useless because they'll do nothing to change the minds of the gun control lobby and other anti-gun politicians and those people who are radically anti-gun. And to that I say, you're right. I don't make these videos to change the minds of the anti-gun lobby or anti-gun politicians. I make them for the people. I know I'm not going to change the minds of people like Joe Biden, his administration, anti-gun politicians, and the anti-gun elite, because people who are in the position of power are rarely in the business of giving up or even sharing that power. It's just human nature. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The founding fathers got a front row seat to this type of corruption, which is why they went to war against the British, but most importantly, why they wrote the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights, which includes the Second Amendment, was to protect the rights of the people from the federal government, because they knew how easily a government with absolute power can become an oppressive government towards the people. So they enshrined particular rights in our Constitution so that people always had a leverage against the government. But because of the way this country is structured, the government can't restrict our 2A rights unless they get a ton of people in the middle to either be apathetic on the issue or agree with it by appealing to their emotions and sense of wanting to be protected, even if it's a false sense of protection. These are the people I make the debunking gun control videos for. Now, I'm no dummy. I know they're not gonna watch these videos on their own accord, but they will if you send it to them and say something like, hey, check this video out and tell me what you think. I do this all the time with my friends with videos on other topics and issues. I also make debunking gun control videos for you. There are so many facts and stats and arguments when it comes to the gun issue. Most people don't have the time to research it all. So I put the videos out to give you that information in short, concise videos so that you can use the information in those videos when you're having conversations about gun control in your personal life. It amazes me how the same people who hate politicians because they think they're all corrupt are the same people willing to give up their Second Amendment rights to the same politicians. Honestly, a lot of these people just don't know any better. People are already overwhelmed with making a living and trying to provide for their family and don't have the time to research the Second Amendment and what it's for. They don't have time to research the various gun control laws that these anti-gun politicians try to pass. So we have to start speaking to the people in the middle about these issues, because once you can convince the masses to protect the Second Amendment, our representatives will have no choice but to comply. When I was on the Bill Maher show, I had a discussion where seemingly no one was on my side.
And I know the NRA always wants to say, people are saying ban guns, but they're not. They're simply saying, for my safety and the protection of children and other people, we should have regulations like background checks on every single gun.
Now, how would you enforce that?
Okay.
You know, if
we're going to suggest a solution, at least have something that's enforceable, right? But after the show, multiple people came up to me and told me that I gave them a new perspective on the issue. I wasn't surprised, because while it may have looked like I was trying to convince the people on stage, I wasn't. I was talking to the quiet people in the middle who were watching. I look at guns differently than you do.
Yes.
And there was a point in time where I looked at it, probably the same way you did, right? I had about as an organic progression of firearm ownership as one can have. I was against guns, I didn't like them. But I went to the range one time and I shot a gun, and that changed for me. The people booing and clapping are on the extreme, and they're always loud. The people in the middle are quiet. They don't say much, but they're always watching, and there's a ton of them. Don't let the media fool you into thinking that the loudest, most extreme people are the majority, because I assure you, they are not. That's why I make these videos, so that you can watch them and then use the information in my videos to educate the mass of people in the middle. A lot of people who think they're pro-gun control are actually just ignorant on the issue. And once they get new information, they change the way they feel about gun control. They may not tell you right then and there when you're having the conversation, but I assure you that when they go home, they change their perspective.
I really do appreciate you at least taking the time out to kind of talk to me about it and just challenging me, challenging my perspective and, you know, you.
Well, then I'd like to ask for something in return.
Okay.
I want you to take me to the gun range. I've never been.
Really?
And I feel like it's not fair for me to have these opinions, and I've never done it.
I know we can make that happen.
Deal?
That's a deal.
Getting new information on a subject is very insidious. It crawls into the dark parts of the mind and just sits there, staring at your old information, waiting for you to finally accept the new information. And once you know, you know. There are millions of people who don't know what they don't know about the gun debate, gun control, and guns in this country. And the mainstream media isn't going to teach them, which is why we have to. Yes, social media can make it hard to get this message out, but social media is also a godsend. Because of social media, I don't have to be on cable news or in Hollywood to get my message to millions of people. All I have to have is a camera, an internet connection, and most importantly, you. You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for, or hopefully even avoid, a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.